Yep. See the stream. See if the volume is good.
Okay.
See the stream. Yep. Volume is A-OK. Tassa Bashar is there.
Tessa Bashar is there. Hey,
Shalom.
Shalom, Mak.
Shabbat Shalom. Yahweh
Yah,
Bashim
Shabbat Shalom. Yah Bashim, Yosha Bashim, Rakakadash, Brakata.
Gone.
Sound is
Yeah,
good.
man. Yes. So we're back here again, going back to the basics. Me and this brother, I'm Kwatasab Zayan, and the brother,
Talmayat.
we are trying to, bring back the basics, so that our people that are coming into this truth, that they have the milk scriptures, that they have the understanding of the scriptures. So Yaratazad is going to be a part two, an edifying part two of the chariots and the clouds of the Most High. So before we start, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai,
Ba'ashem Rakakodash.
Ba'ashem Rakakadash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth and who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the Hakim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah, man. So last episode, we went into the clouds. You know how Yahweh Shai is going to come with the clouds, and that we're going to be, we have need to be outside of the firmament, looking in onto the destruction, which is the sea of glass. The firmament is written down as a sea of glass, and we have to be saved by the chariots, man. When Yahweh Shai comes with his chariots, that's our the manifestation of our salvation. But Yahweh, he also wrote in the scriptures certain things to show you how the chariots look, how the chariots act, how the chariots manifest themselves. And today we're going to go into a couple of examples of that, and we're going to start with Ezekiel 1. So if you could give me Ezekiel 1 and 3.
Okay. This is Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 3. The word of the Lord came expressly unto Ezekiel the priest, the son of Buzi, in the land of the Chaldeans, by the river Shebar, and the hand of the Lord was there upon him.
Gone. So if you go into Lashon Kodash in the Hebrew, then the name Ezekiel in the Lashon Kodash, it's Yahazak Allah, which the outline of biblical usage says the Most High strengthens, Yahweh strengthens. And Satan is heavy today, man. Now, calling me. Let me see. Salakia.
Kanak.
First, it was starting up the stream. Then there was the sound in the stream. Now, work is calling me. Yeah, man, he has to wait. Work of the Most High goes first.
That's right.
So Ezekiel is Chazak Allah, which is the Most High strengthens, and it says a son of Buzi and a priest and a prophet. So that shows you that the Most High works through the mouth of the prophets. That's how the Most High makes his judgments and his prophecies known unto the people through the mouth of the prophets, because he used Ezekiel to bring forth this vision that we're going to read about. The author of the book of his name, which is the book of Ezekiel, taken captive with Jehoiakim and exiled in Babylon, where he prophesied for the next 22 years. So that's a little bit of history on Ezekiel. Yahazak Allah is his Hebrew name, and he had gotten a vision of the Most High, and we're gonna go into the vision. God, can you go ahead?
Uh, this is verse 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud and fire enfolding itself, and the brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof as a color of amber out of the midst of the fire.
Gone. So let me see. When it says, and I looked, and behold, a whirlwind. A whirlwind is what the prophet described to show you that it was a chariot. Let me see. Let me share my screen. Mm, flying, no, not a flying saucer. It was a, yeah, UFO disc.
So yes.
Yeah, so something like this, you would see a UFO disc, but it was spinning within itself. You have all type of manners that Esau is portraying this, but it came like a whirlwind, meaning it was spinning. You know, a whirlwind is like a tornado which spins, you know, around its axle. So
Mhm.
it says, and I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and that's what the prophet used to describe these chariots because they're in the air, you know, and some of them do look like clouds. They do often. What was it? In these Marvel movies, they have these aircrafts, right? And they
Mhm.
can camouflage themselves with the background,
Okay.
you know, and that's what these
Cloaking.
chariots do also. Yeah, cloaking, exactly.
Mhm.
So these chariots, they cloak and they look like clouds some of the time, you know, but then they can make themselves manifest to people so that they can see what they look like, but often they look like clouds, you see. So
Okay.
it reads, a great cloud and a fire unfolding itself, and a brightness was about it. So it was spinning, and it had a aura around it. You know, it had a bright color around it, and out of the midst thereof a color of amber, and out of the midst of the fire. So if you go into that word amber, amber color is yellowish, orange, you know.
Mhm.
So this is the color that was in the midst of this chariot. You see? Go ahead.
Go verse 5. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of four living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man.
Can you get me Psalms 104 verse 3
Okay.
and also Revelations 10?
Okay. This is
Because
Psalms.
oh yeah, you're quick. Go.
God, this is Psalms chapter 104, verse 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters? Who maketh the clouds his chariot? Who walketh
So
upon the wings of the wind?
yeah, so to further explain that the clouds resemble the chariots of the Most High, because the scripture just said, "Who maketh the clouds his chariots?" So those are the vehicles of the Most High. You see, to further expound on the cloud being a UFO, the cloud being a chariot, being a vehicle to maneuver across the earth. Can you get me the Revelations? Revelations 10, start at 1.
Come,
Then you read until 3.
come. This is Revelation chapter 10, verse 1. And I
Because
saw,
this is Salakia, because this is
come,
Apostle John, the Revelator. He himself, he also was visited by a chariot in the island of Patmos. You know, because if you go into that word angel, as the brother is going to read here, angel, it goes into envoy, which goes into delegate in a spaceship. So that's what the John the Revelator saw. He saw a spaceship, he saw an envoy, he saw aircraft. You see?
come.
Go ahead.
This is Revelation chapter 10, verse 1. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and the rainbow was upon his head,
Hmm.
and his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire.
Yeah. So this is the angel, like we just explained, is the envoy, which is the chariot of the Most High. It was clothed with a cloud, like we were going into. That the chariots of the Most High, they cloak themselves, looking like clouds. You see, and a
Mhm.
rainbow was upon his head, meaning it was arrayed with the diverse colors. It's like when a king has a crown, right? And that crown
Come,
has different stones on it. And depending on how you look at his crown, then you see all rainbow colors. You see different type of colors, because of those stones that he has on his crown. So this explains the glory of the chariot. When the chariot comes, it has different diverse colors. You know, it's majestic, and his face was like it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. Go, go ahead.
come. Verse 2. And he had in his hand a little book open, and he set his right foot upon the sea and his left foot on the earth.
Go. So it says, and he had in his hand a little book, which the little book is the scriptures, is the Bible, you know. And he set his right foot upon the sea and his left foot on the earth, meaning he landed. That chariot landed, and part of the when they land, then you have these like tentacle like feet, right? So
Okay.
his partially his feet landed upon sea, and partially it landed upon the earth. Okay, so that was the point with that. But if you go back to Ezekiel 1 and 5.
This is Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 5. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of four living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man.
Gone. Okay, get me Judges 13 verse 6.
God.
Gone. This is the brother Tazarach. Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yashai, Bashem Rakakodash Barakatah.
Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Shem Rakatadash Barakatah.
Gone. So, what came out of these chariots that we're reading about here? The chariot, the whirlwind, that came four creatures, four living creatures, which are four angels. Those came out of the chariot, and they look like man. It's just like the same with what was it in the book of Tobit, when
Mhm.
Raphael, which his name is Rapaya Allah, which is the healing of the Most High, that was also an angel. And in the book of Hebrews 13 and 2, it says, let me grab it real quick. Some have entertained
Angels,
strangers.
angels on the strangers on the web. So like yeah.
Yeah. This is Hebrews 13 verse 2. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. So these angels, they come in the likeness of man, but sometimes they come like a normal human. They look like a normal human, like Rabbi Allah or yeah, the like the brother's gonna read in Judges. There was also an encounter. Yeah, you got it? In
Uh,
Judges 13 and 6.
13 and 6, God. This is
Sometimes
Judges.
in a peaceful way, in a normal way, but sometimes they're dreadful. Can you give me?
God. This is Judges chapter 13, verse 6. Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, a man of the Most High came unto me, and his countenance was like the countenance of an angel of Yahweh, very terrible. But I asked him not whence he was, neither told he me his name.
You see, so they can come very peaceful, but also they can come very dreadful. Because they come from the Most High. The Most High can make them dreadful to look at, and that's how these angels came like. Because when we're gonna read further, it had four heads, like a lion and different animals. So the Most High can make the angel to appear peaceful or very dreadful. So in this case, these were some dreadful like men. You know,
Okay.
Go ahead. Ezekiel 1 and 6.
Ezekiel chapter 1 and 6. And everyone had four faces, and everyone had four wings,
Yeah.
and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot.
Yeah, that's
And they
that's what
spoke
these kung fu masters and these ninjas were, I believe. That they have
the shoes
yeah, and it has a
in
cloven.
the middle.
Yeah.
I had these shoes when I was young back in the days.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was in that kung fu thing back in the days.
Hmm.
I was doing kung fu karate,
Let me
and
see.
you had to have this.
Yeah, that's what was being described here in the scriptures. That they
Okay.
were having shoes like that. I can't find them immediately, but you get the point. It's like a shoe or a sock that you wear, and then you have a clove in the middle.
The ninjas are wearing that. If you search on the ninja shoes,
Let me see. Ninja. Yeah, I think I found one. Yeah, let me see. Share.
okay.
This one or this one. You see?
Hmm.
Like a calf foot. So that's how their foot looked like. See? Gone.
Okay. Verse 7.
Hmm.
Let me read it again.
Yeah.
And their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like a sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass.
Gone. So this also showed you again which color the angels are. They're so-called black, you know, because the color of burnished brass, which is burnt brass, is dark brown. Black. It goes back to black. Very very dark in color. It's not. They weren't like the angels that these people depict, like what these Christians depict, or what like the Roman Catholic Church depicts them to be like. No, they had the color of burnished brass, meaning very dark brown. You know,
Okay.
so-called black. Uh,
Verse
God. So the rest actually explains how they look like and how dreadful they were. So you can read it for yourself. And let's jump to verse 15.
God. This is Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 15. Now, as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth, and by the living creatures with his four faces.
God. So with that that man, that angel that came out of these chariots, out of these vehicles, there also was Salakia, a chariot of the Most High with him constantly. Why? Because they were in one accord. They were in unison. They were they were, yeah, kind of joined together because they had one mind. You know,
Mhm.
just like how when they, if you have your a general and you send your troops to do a certain task, they're not going to fight each other to complete that task. No, they're going to work together to complete that task. The same way, the angel and the chariot had the same objective. So they were moving with each other. They were working in a team, in unison. Go, go ahead.
Verse 16. The appearance of the wheels and their works, or Salakia, and their work was like unto the color of a beryl, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel.
Yeah, gone. So let me see if I can, yeah, find that. But basically, it's just what it explains a wheel within a wheel. It means you have a disc upon a disc. You know, that's how these Edomites always depict these UFOs. Also,
Hmm.
that you have a bigger wheel within, or a smaller wheel within a bigger wheel. So
Con,
that's what it means with a wheel within a wheel. Can you give me Ezekiel 10 and 10?
con.
Let me
This is
see.
his.
So you're quick. Let me see if I can find the color of a barrel, because that's a greenish color,
Hmm.
which you see in that movie Independence Day. Let's see. Something like this.
Hmm.
This. Oh, it doesn't show you the picture immediately. See green. Beryl emerald. You see?
Hmm.
So that's the color of a beryl. That's what you often see in these alien movies that they shoot lasers with. The UFOs, so-called UFOs, but they are just the cherries of the Most High. Can't go ahead.
Con. This is Ezekiel chapter 10, verse 10. And as for their appearance, they four had one likeness, as if a wheel had been in the midst of a wheel.
Gone. So that's a precept on Ezekiel 1, verse 16, where it shows you that these things that you see in the movies, they are scriptural, man.
Hmm.
They get all these things from the scriptures. How did they come up with the idea of a wheel within a wheel? They read these scriptures, and then they want to demonize us. They want to demonize the angels. They want to demonize the chariots of the Most High. Calling
Yep.
them aliens, and that there's going to come an alien attack and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
this is all scriptural, what they're portraying in these movies, man. Because
Sure.
if you go to Daniel's 7, it also shows you that the Most High, he sits upon these UFOs, and it also
Con.
says it in Ezekiel 1. Let me help you out with
This is
that.
Daniel
Go.
chapter 7, verse 9. Yeah, let me start with 9. Uh, it's a little bit dark here. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as a burning fire.
Yeah, man. So the Ancient of Days is speaking about the Most High. So the Most High, he has white woolly hair, and he has a white garment representing righteousness, and his throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. So the wheels, that those are the so-called UFOs. You know, those are the chariots of the Most High that he sits upon. Because in Ezekiel 1, it says, Ezekiel 1, verse 26, and above the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne, as the appearance of a sapphire stone, and upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness as the appearance of a man above upon it, which that man above upon it is the Ancient of Days, which is the Most High. And you can link that with Revelations. It's a quick side note.
Yeah.
Revelations 20, verse 11. This is Revelations 20 and 11. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no more, it's like no place for them. So this, let me see. This is speaking about Yahweh. You know, Yahweh, he's sitting upon his throne, and he has chariots underneath him. You know, so he is viewing the earth and the heavens from above that throne, from upon that throne that is surrounded by chariots. Man. It also speaks about it in Revelations 4. But going back to this scripture, the white throne and him that sat on it, from those like from whose face the earth and the heavens fled away, and there was found no more place. So that's speaking about Esau Edom. Esau Edom is going to be done away with. He's going to be pulverized. He's going to be like the Thanos. You know, when Thanos he snaps his finger, he's going to be like dust, and he's like, huh? Esau who? You know, nobody's going to know. There's not going to be any remembrance of him, of Esau Edom. So let's see, Revelations 4. Speaking about the throne and the sitting upon the wheel. Revelations 4, verse 2. And it reads, and immediately I was in the spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and sardine stone. And there was a rainbow round about the throne in sight like unto emerald, and round about the throne were 24 seats, and upon the seats I saw 24 elders sitting clothed in white raiment, and they had on their heads crowns of gold. So it was speaking about the rainbow and the colors. You know, that's the majesty and the glory of the Most High. That's his aura that surrounds these UFOs and his throne. And out of the throne proceeded lightning and thunderings and voices, and there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of the Most High. And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne and round about the throne there were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind. And the first beast was like a lion. Yeah, man, you could read on, but the point is made. You know, it's about Yahweh. He's sitting on the throne, and all these angels and saints are ministering unto them, as it's also going to say in Daniel. You see? And to get one more point on the throne in Isaiah 6, verse 1, and it reads, in the year that the king Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord Yahweh sitting upon a throne high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. So his aura, his glory, his majesty filled the temple. So yeah, man. Go back to Daniel 7.
This is Daniel chapter 7. Start with 9 again.
No, go to 10.
10. This is verse 10. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands of thousands ministered unto him. And then thousand times 10,000 stood before Salakia stood before him. The judgment was set and the book were open.
God, so when it speaks about, you got the Psalm 68 on deck? God,
I'm gonna take it now.
God. And it says, thousands ministered unto him, which represents the saints and the angels. Like we were just going into. You had the elders, you had um, 24 seats, you had diverse beasts, which all these are the angels and the saints that minister unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. God.
Come. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 68, verse 17.
God.
The chariots of Yahweh are 20,000s, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place.
God. So the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. So showing you that the Most High is surrounded by angels and by these chariots. Like we were going into in Ezekiel 1, it says that he was surrounded by the chariots and also by these different angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai. So do you have you can get me the Deuteronomy 33, because scripture is here making a reference to the time like in Mount Sinai. So we're going to read about Mount Sinai to get a better understanding of that real quick.
Come. This is Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 2. And he said the Lord came from Sinai and rose up from Seir unto them. He shined forth from Mount Paran, and he came with 10,000s of saints. From his right hand went a fiery law for them.
Yeah, you see?
A
So,
fiery, Salakia.
God. And he said, the Most High came from Sinai and rose up from Seir, Mount Seir, unto them. He shined forth from Mount Paran, and he came with 10,000s of saints, which are the chariots and the angels. That also it's also spoken about in Habakkuk 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a brief reference to this encounter where Moses blessed the tribes. That the Most High was dealing with Moses on Mount Sinai, but he didn't come alone. He came with his chariots. He came with the saints, with the angels. But most importantly, it was the chariots. That's the representation of the glory of the Most High. Because they come with that rainbow color. They come when they come and they land, then you see a burnt, a parched place. You see that it's black, because that's what happened on Mount Sinai also. Mm,
You
That's
want
in,
Habakkuk?
wait a second, let me get Exodus to show you that it was a parched place.
Mm-hmm.
Exodus 19, verse 18. This is Exodus 19 and 18. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because the Most High descended upon it in fire. How did he do that? He did it with a chariot, because
Okay.
that's what they saw. They saw the cloud, they heard thunderings, they couldn't understand, but great fear fell upon them. The Israelites that were waiting on Moses down in Mount Sinai. So because the Most High descended upon it in fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. God. So that's what happens when these chariots appear. Everything quakes, everything crumbles, everything. Uh, it comes with fire and with smoke. So that mountain was parched through the chariot. God, you had the Habakkuk 3 and
Come.
3.
This is Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 3. The Most High came from Teman, and the Holy from Mount Paran, Selah. Let me read it again, man.
Uh, because Timon is a grandson of Esau. So like it says, the Most High he came from Seir, which Seir represents Esau, Edom, and here it says he came from Timon. So it just shows you that he was dealing with Esau. He was messing them
Mhm.
up. Go ahead.
Uh, Let me read it again. Yahweh came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran, Selah. His glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise.
His glory covered the heavens. What is his glory? The chariots.
Chariots.
Just like how when Yahushua is going to come, Revelations 1 and 7, it says he's going to come in his glory, meaning he's going to come with chariots. And like the brother just read, it covered the whole earth. It covered what was it? Covered the skies,
Covered the heavens.
covered the heavens. You see, so that's how many chariots the Most High has. And often, I believe this year also, in the beginning of the year, then there's always a huge chariots that is being spotted on New Year's Eve or on the New Year's Day itself.
Hmm.
So the Most High has these chariots that are huge. They're not small. And if thousands of these chariots come, then the whole heaven is going to be covered. It's going to be a dark and gloomy day also because of the chariots are going to cover the sun. When they come. Gone.
God,
Anything?
not particularly.
Okay, let's go back to the Ezekiel then.
God,
Ezekiel 1.
Ezekiel 1 and start with 16 of 17.
Gone. 17.
This is Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 17. When they went upon their four sides, and they returned not when they went.
Hmm.
As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them four.
Gone. Give me Revelations 15, verse 2, to show you what the eyes are actually meant by. Because the
This is
eyes, yeah. Huh?
This is Revelation chapter 15, verse 2, and it reads, "And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harp of Yahweh."
Gone. Oh, so no, I thought it was scripture where it shows you that the eyes are the windows, but this scripture, the sea of glass, which is the firmament uh, that was mixed with glass, so like that was mixed with fire, goes back to that when these ICBM missiles hit, there's going to be such an explosion, such a, a devastation here upon Earth that we have to view it from outer space, above the firmament to be safe.
Okay.
And them that begotten the victory over the beast, which is the NATO and the EU and America, and over his image and over his mark, which is the 666, which is his embargo, which is his barcode, which he wants to put within you. That's the charagma. And over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. And so we Yaratazah, are going to be singing for glory of the Most High that we have been saved out of this destruction, that's going to come upon Babylon and the whole world. But going back to Ezekiel 1,
Can I can I add something to it? Huh?
no, no,
Yeah, this was the vision what John the Revelator saw on the island of Patmos,
mhm.
saw seeing that Babylon being destroyed.
Yep.
Karnak.
Gone. So going back to that, that's right, man. Because John the Revelator, he saw the end time, like other prophets also, but he saw it, and other prophets they like the prophet Habakkuk, he
Mhm.
also became sick to his stomach, when the Most High was speaking. Ezra also, you know, they all they feared when they saw that vision, because it's not no light thing. So that's why we have to be outside of the stratosphere, or outside the firmament, so that we won't be hit by this destruction that's going to come.
Okay.
Because we're going back to Ezekiel 1 verse 18, where it speaks
It-
on the eyes, and their rings were full of eyes round about them, four, which that represents the windows. When you have these so-called UFOs, the chariots of the Most High, they have windows to fuel the destruction that is going to come. Like we just read about in Revelations 15.
okay.
Let me see. Yeah, man. So basically, those are the key points of this chapter. You can read the rest about the dread of these angels of the men, you know, and you can read also about the glory. Let's jump to that. Go to verse 27.
Okay.
Then you can see the glory that is that these chariots come with. You know, the glory of the
This is
Most High.
okay. This is Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 27. And I saw as the color of amber, as the appearance of fire round about within, Salakia, round about within it, from the appearance of his loins, even
Loins
upward
of his loins.
of his loins, yeah, yeah, of his loins, even upward, and from the appearance of his loins, even downward, I saw as it were the appearance of fire. It had brightness round about,
You see the
as the
brightness round about. That's the aura. That's the glory. That's the rainbow colors. All these magnificent colors that you see, like we were explaining. When you have a crown, you see all kind of magnificent colors. And that's how these chariots come, when they really manifest themselves. So that's the vision that Yahazak Allah, Ezekiel, that he saw, the prophet. Can go ahead.
Quran, verse 28, as the appearance of the bow that is in the clouds in the day of rain, so was the appearance of the brightness round about. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. And when I saw it, I fell upon my face, and I heard the voice of one that spake.
Khan Salakia. So that shows you the glory. When it speaks of the glory of the Lord, that's speaking about these chariots, in their magnificence, you know. So that's cutthroat. That's straight to the point. When you see the
Mhm.
glory of the Most High, then you see it says this was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Most High. So often when you see the glory of the Most High, it represents these chariots. See.
Okay.
Um, let's go to Zechariah, because now we went into how they look like clouds. We went into how they look like the color of rainbows. You have a wheel within a wheel, and now you also have cigar shaped chariot also.
Okay.
You have different kind of forms. They don't have one standard form.
Okay. This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 5, verse 1. Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll.
Gone. So this one looked like a flying roll, meaning a roll is what is used to write scriptures on. That's what
Mhm.
was used back in the day. So that's why this prophet Zechariah, he referred to as a flying roll. Go.
Con. Verse 2. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll,
Go.
the
So the
length
flying
thereof.
roll is like we were going into. Let me see. I think I got something like that. Let me see. Something like this.
Mhm.
This is a roll. You see? So he saw something shaped like this, thin at the ends of it, and in the midst it was kind of thicker.
Mhm.
See? You also have cigar shapes, but this one was a flying roll. And this is the Hebrew scriptures. Go ahead.
The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Verse 3. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that going forth over the face of the whole earth for
Gone. So
everyone.
gone. So it says this is the curse. Why is it the curse? Because these chariots, they also do damage. They also bring judgments of the Most High. All these wildfires and things that you see, they could be made by these chariots. Because we know that the chariots bring fire of the Most High.
Mhm.
So all these wildfires, all these devastating things, natural disasters that you see, they can come from these chariots. So when it says this is the curse that goes forth over the face of the whole earth, it means the curse, it goes into the bringing forth of the judgments of the Most High. Go ahead.
That's right. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side, according to it. And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side, according to it.
God, so let me see. Can you give me no? Let me see. Malachi 4 for 6.
Okay. This is Malachi chapter 4, verse 6.
Oh no, leave that. Salaka, that's a
Yeah, I
bold
saw it.
precept.
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Gone.
Zechariah 5 and 4.
This is Zechariah chapter 5, verse 4. I will bring it
That's how
forth,
you
said the.
see also. It's like that's how you see also that this is not scripted. We are just going through the spirit, going through the
Gone.
scriptures and be like, okay, what's what? Let's see the precepts that we have and bring out the edification. We
Gone.
don't do this for filthy lucre's sake or whatnot. We just go through the spirit, get the understanding through the elders and apostles, and then we give it in the same way to you.
Gone.
Go ahead.
This is Zechariah chapter 5, verse 4. No, 5. No, 4. 4, Salakia. I will bring it forth, said the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and
Go on.
into the house of him that sweareth falsely on my name, of by my name, Salakia.
Go on. So it says the Most High is going to bring him into the house of the thief, and that's speaking about Babylon the Great. That's speaking about America. Why? Why do we say that? Because he is the one that stole a man. Let me read it
Okay.
again. Zechariah 5 verse 4. I will bring it forth, said the Most High, power of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. Because Esau, Edom, what did he do? He stole a man. Who did he steal? He stole the Israelites.
Israelites.
So this is Exodus 21 verse 16. And this is the judgment of the Most High for stealing a man. Exodus 21 and 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, which they did for us, they sold us, they sold our children, they sold, or was that in Joel 2? They sold a girl, a boy, as
For
a
a
harlot,
harlot.
a
As a
girl
harlot.
for wine, I believe, roughly paraphrasing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they did. And selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. So this pending judgment is awaiting upon Esau Edom. He's
That's
going to
right.
be put to death according to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, according to the Holy Scriptures, according to the law. Gone. So,
Gone.
and into the house, going back to Zechariah 5 and 4, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And that's what Esau Edom also does, when he goes to his court
Yeah.
system, he uses the Bible to falsely swear in people, and then they toss it behind them, and then they start speaking lies. They start they use these scriptures falsely. They don't have anything to do with these scriptures, as the Bible says.
I have a
Go on,
precept for you.
go on.
This is Psalms chapter 50, verse 16. But unto the wicked, Yahweh said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instructions and casteth my words behind thee?
Yeah, you see, so they use the scriptures, they swear by the scriptures, but then they don't even use them. And the scriptures even says not to swear, because you can't turn any hair gray upon your head. You don't have any might within you, so don't swear upon anything that is upon the earth or that is in heaven, because it's all in vain. But these heathen do. These heathen, they take the Bible and they swear upon it. They
Gone.
seek out iniquities. So this is one of the most highest iniquities also. You're supposed to be put to death immediately for doing things like this. But the Most High, he has a reward for them. So it's still loading, when you have that
It's still,
loading screen.
it's still
When it's
pending.
yeah, it's still pending. So when it reaches 100, that's when the Most High is going to bring his fierce wrath and his indignation, which the word
That's
indignation
right.
means righteous anger. So the Most High is mad with the heathen every day, as it says in the
Mm-hmm.
scriptures, and he rightfully so, because these
Gone.
these people, they don't know how to rule the earth, they don't know how to act, but they are in charge right now for us to be whipped into righteousness,
Mm-hmm.
actually, to be whipped into having faith that the Most High is the one that can get us out of this situation. He's
That's
the only
right.
one that can help us. How? Through these magnificent chariots, also, like we are going into it. You know,
Yeah.
we explained how they come with lasers and with fire and with smoke. You see the damage that they can do. You
Yeah.
know, so that's how these people, and mainly this so-called white man, Esau Edom, is going to be put out of rulership. See,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Khan. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof.
See, beautiful. It beautifully links into
Mm-hmm.
what I just spoke about.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to consume it. It's going to consume Babylon the Great. It's going to consume all these idols, all these idol worshipping countries, but mainly Babylon the Great, with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. What is used to build a city? What is used to make an empire? Timber and stones, wood
Khan.
and stones. So everything is going to be destroyed. Let's go to the book of Habakkuk. Habakkuk 3. You got it?
Khan. I got it.
Let
Which
me see.
verse you want?
Uh, I think we need to save this because everything is good. I think,
Let's read the whole chapter.
yeah, exactly. Now let's go to the Second King scriptures, and we're gonna end it on that.
God,
And Habakkuk 3, we can go into that the other day, make a part 3, and then
God.
close it on that. So give me Second King 6 first.
Verse, want to start
15.
with 15?
Uh,
God, this is Second Kings, chapter 6, verse 15. And when the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And the servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do?
yeah.
And he
So,
answered,
Salakia. So here, Elijah, he was surrounded by chariots and by horses, so they were outnumbered. So his servants asked him, like, okay, what are we gonna do? Because seeing that we're surrounded, we're gonna lose.
Mhm.
But this is what happened.
Gone. Verse 16. And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them.
Gone. So that goes back to what we were previously reading, Psalm 68, verse 17. You know that the chariots of the Most High, they are 10,000s. You know that they are many, and Psalms 104, verse 3, also. You know, so it shows you that uh, um, the servant, he didn't realize that they weren't outnumbered. Actually, they outnumbered the people that they
The
surrounded.
people.
You know,
Mhm.
so they were with many. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
Yeah. So that's speaking about these chariots of the Most High, man. It was so the skies was full with these horses and chariots of fire, like we also read in Daniel 7. You know
Okay.
that fiery stream, that fiery law that issued out of the Most High's mouth. So little did he know that he had the Most High on his side, that Elijah, he knew it, but the servant didn't know. So
Mhm.
Elijah prayed so that that young man could see it also, so that he wouldn't fear.
Uh,
Mm, God, so I don't remember if you get this precept. I don't think so. This is Isaiah 31, verse 5. As birds flying, so will the Lord, power of hosts, defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. So
mhm.
this is a precept on what we just read. You know that the Most High, he delivers them. He delivered them out of the hand of the enemies. You know,
Yeah.
like birds flying. You know, so the Most High can use these chariots to teleport, to transport you to a safer place, to deliver you out of such troubles. You know, so that's how the Most High is also going to deliver us out of the the destruction that's going to come through these ICBM missiles. You know, we have to be transported out of the firmament, out of the to look into the sea of glass, to look into the destruction. You see, so that's how the Most High, he can deliver you as birds flying. You know, because
Yeah.
in these movies like Star Trek, you see that these UFOs, they have a beam, right, and then they
Mhm.
not disintegrate, they transform, they
Yeah.
transfigure. You know, they
Yeah.
pick you up and
Transfiguring.
then they bring you somewhere else, and that's what these chariots do, man. They can pick you up and bring you somewhere else. You know, materialize your body somewhere else.
Uh,
Um, God, so give me Second Kings 2, verse 11.
this is Second Kings, verse 2 and 11. So lucky my page is sticking. Yeah, I have it. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven.
You see? So that also describes the chariot of fire, which is the chariot of the Most High. It can be seen as a whirlwind, like we were speaking about, a wheel within a wheel that also was
Mhm.
spinning and turning. That's why it says like a whirlwind, you know. So Elijah, he was saved. He was not saved. He went into the heaven by a whirlwind, by a chariot. So the chariot picked him up, you know, and then he was taken, just like how Yahushai. It says in Acts 1 that the same way that Yahushai went up in a whirlwind in a chariot, in the same way he's
In
going to
the
come
same
back,
way.
Revelations 1 and 7.
Hmm.
So, yeah, man, we went through a bunch of scriptures. Yahweh Tzah, you have been edified hereby, and that you got the understanding of the chariots of the Most High, and how they work. So we hope it was edifying, and we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bashem,
Bacham,
Yahushai,
Bachai,
Bashem,
Bacham,
Rakakodash.
Takadash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us his truth and who rule well. Peace and citations unto the Akim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the elect. Shalom, Akim.
Shalom.